Hey friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Dr. Brianna Whiteside. In today's video, we're going to talk about money because we are all on our wealth building journey. Some of us may be on the debt-free journey, but that's okay. You're going to quickly switch to the wealth building journey, and I'm so happy to have you here. Before we get started, I want to ask you to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because I am going to be aggressively talking about money, especially as we move more into recessionary times. I know you've heard it in the news, you may have heard it from spiritual channels that we are threatening a recession, but I always want you to remember that millionaires are made in a recession. A lot of millionaires came out of the pandemic wealthy, and if you miss that cycle of millionaires, you don't want to miss this upcoming cycle of 2026 millionaires, because millionaires are made during economic downturns. Just look at your Bible and ask Isaac. In today's video, I want to talk about allowing your money to work for you. I know in black and brown communities, generally the only thing we hear about working is you working. You going to school, getting a good job, working hard, working your fingers down to the bone to retire and then enjoy the rest of your life. That's no life, right? Especially when we think about this idea of work-life balance. The fact that work comes first, which means that you're not going to have a life until later, I don't like that, and I never liked it, and that should cause you to pause too, because why isn't it life-work balance? Why wouldn't you expect me to live a life and also work to support that life? We have it a little bit backwards, but we live in that culture. But you don't have to subscribe to those ideas anymore. You can change the narrative anytime you want to. And that is what I am seeking to do right now in my life. So I want to tell you about a way that I let my money work for me. It is the risk-free way. So if you are risk adverse, if you're like, I'm not trying to risk nothing, then this video is for you. The way that I let my money work for me that has caused me no risk was putting my money in high yield savings accounts. Now, you should have a savings account. At this big age, we need to have savings accounts. And the unfortunate thing is so many Americans cannot afford a $500 repair to come up because they can't afford it. And so that is alarming. That used to be me. And so this is no shade. If you cannot, just know that I used to be there, but I had to start conditioning my brain to think differently so that I could do different things. And that is why I'm talking to you about money. And so when you're parking your money in high yield savings accounts, the difference is that they pay you a higher APY to keep your money there as opposed to your traditional bank. Now, your traditional bank will generally give you 0.01%. That's no money. Like, you probably going to be making a penny or 10 cents in that high yield savings account every month. On the other hand, what your high yield savings accounts will pay you a larger percentage of the money. Now, I have been talking about high yield savings accounts for a while, so I want to give you 3 that I hold that you can open up today. It's totally up to you. But I'm going to give it to you in order of highest APY. And the reason why I'm going to tell you about the highest APY is because I want you to be in the fastest moving car and get more bang for your buck. So if you're going to park your money in an institution, they should be paying you. And I want you to put your money in an institution that's going to pay you the most. Does that make sense? So coming in at number 1, it is Marcus by Goldman Sachs. This is my baby. This account made me almost $1,000 last year just by leaving my money in there. And they're currently giving 3.75% APY. Now, they was given like upper 4s or low 5 percentages around 2022, 2023. But they have since decreased that, but they still, in my opinion, give the highest APY that I have found. And I'm only telling you about the institutions that I personally hold. So Marcus at Goldman Sachs, they're giving you a 3.75% APY for just parking your money over there and letting it accrue interest. Because if you are paying higher interest rates, and we are about to pay higher interest rate because of these tariffs, if you're paying higher interest rates in the culture and society, you need to somehow counteract that. And the only way to really counteract that in a safe, really safe way where you have no risk is to put it in a high yield savings account. Coming in at number 2, are my friends over at American Express. You all know that I have an American Express card that I love. I've been with Amex since 2014. They were one of the high credit cards that I held back when I was trying to get out of consumer debt. I've since paid that credit card off, upgraded my card, and I use that card for everything, including paying my rent so that I can get the points, so that I can get the rewards. This is all about a system, y'all. If I'm going to have to pay anyway, I'm going to want to be rewarded for my payment. And that is what my Amex card allows me to do. And so American Express, they have their high yield savings account. They're giving 3.70%, and it is a compounding interest system. And, you know, it's wonderful. So if you are an American Express holder, I think you should probably check into it, because, you know, you're building that long-term bond and that long-term relationship with them over there. The only reason why I opened it was because I did hold a card, and of course they have been super gracious. Like, for instance, last month I forgot to pay my business credit card. I don't even know how I forgot to do that, but I forgot to pay the money, and then they charged me the late fee, and I was like, oh my God, I don't want to pay this late fee. So I just simply reached out and said, hey, I actually forgot to pay this bill. Would you mind going ahead and removing the late fee and just allow me to pay it? And they said, absolutely. Like, we will go ahead and remove it. And they did. They credited my account, and then I just paid the fee. And so that is a benefit of having a long-term relationship with an institution. They know you. They know your spending habits. They value your partnership with them. And I think American Express hands down has some of the best customer service. That's what I'm trying to say. And coming in at number 3 is Capital One. Capital One they're giving you a 3.6% APY on the money that you park over there. I like Capital One. Capital One was my first credit card. It is a credit card that got me in the most trouble when I was in college, but they were my first credit card, and they were my second high yield savings account that I opened. And the reason why they were the second high yield savings account that I opened was because at the time they were giving the most APY on the money that you just allowed sitting over there. And this is 2021, 2022, when the Fed is raising the interest rates gradually. All of the high yield savings accounts were increasing their APY that they were giving their customers, and Capital One came in. So I said, let's just go ahead and put my money over there, and I will start building up that account. And when I get to the number that, I'm comfortable with, then I'll go ahead and switch to another bank account, which I did, which was, I think, my Marcus account. Marcus account was the last account, but that was the account that I was the most aggressive in saving, because they were giving the highest APY. And I said, I want to be in the fastest moving car. I want to be in an institution where they're going to give me more. Because if I'm suffering out here, if I'm paying more at the pump, I need to be getting paid more from the institution. You know what I'm saying? Those are 3 high yield savings accounts that I have. I also have one with the credit union. I think it's always good to have a credit union in your back pocket, y'all. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what you're going to need. And it's always great. They help you build up your credit and your credit history if you need that. And so I do have one with my credit union, but that's specifically for tax time. So, I just put the tax bill money that I assume that I'm going to have to owe the IRS at the end of the year. I just put it over there. And if I don't owe them, I transfer it to my bank account, or I may just owe my CPA and I just pay my CPA out of that account. So that's my money hack, right? High yield savings account. So if you are looking for a low risk, little to no risk, actually, a no risk way to make your money grow for you as you continue on this wealth building journey, you want to look at high yield savings accounts, because they give you the money that your bank will not. The banks are not going to give you that APY. They're not. And they're using your money to trade in the market with me. That's what they're doing. But they're also giving you, small amount compared to the high yield savings account. So always, as we're on this wealth building journey, we always want to be using multiple strategies, right? And so one of my tried and proven and favorite strategies is parking my money in a high yield savings account. So just as a recap, Marcus by Goldman Sachs is giving 3.75%, Amex is giving 3.70%, and Capital One is giving 3.60%. I will have an affiliate link to sign up for the Marcus account in the description box. So if you want to sign up, you want to get that introductory rate, you can go ahead and use my link, and we can go ahead and get you started with that. If not, you can just sign up on your own by just Googling all of the information. I hope this has helped you. I hope this has given you another way to build wealth that you may not have considered or you just may have overlooked. If this information, you found it beneficial, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Of course, we're going to be talking about money a lot over here because there's no reason that you should not be getting all of the things that you deserve and that you should have, because you just don't know the information. And so if I can give you the information, then I feel like my job has been done. But that's all I got, y'all. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.